So this is for MAGA pro-life mothers. Now that we know that women and teenage girls are losing their lives
because Texas does not allow abortions.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Here is Ballistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok. Oh my goodness, it's been trending all over my For You, where people are reacting to the fact that a young 18-year-old actually lost to the fact that there is this abortion ban and people were just reacting to it. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
Pictured here is Candace Fales. She's the mother of Nevaeh Crain, pictured in the photo, an 18-year-old Texas teenager who was pregnant. Nevaeh tried to go to 3 different emergency rooms and was turned away. The third time she went, she had blood-stained thighs, she was hemorrhaging, and she was in serious pain. Later that evening, she died. Investigators are starting to find throughout the state of Texas that there are thousands and thousands of women losing their lives because they cannot get the medical attention to save their life. Now, this isn't an abortion issue. This is a healthcare issue. The state of Texas has written draconian laws, anti-abortion laws, that state if a fetal heartbeat stops, then everybody, the medical provider, the doctors, the nurses, everyone is liable. So what medical providers are doing is just kicking the can down the road. Nothing to see here. You're okay. It's all good. But the women are not getting the medical attention that they need, which is costing them their lives. There's thousands of women dying across the state of Texas. But the Texas legislature, the governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, they will fly their flag of morality up that pole, and it's all a crock of shit because they don't give a damn about women's health.
This is 18-year-old Nevaeh Crain of Texas. Or at least this was Nevaeh. Last October, Nevaeh started having a miscarriage at her own baby shower. She went to 2 different emergency rooms within 12 hours. The first time, they diagnosed her with strep throat, completely ignoring her abdominal pains. Upon her second visit to the emergency room, they diagnosed her with sepsis, meaning the fetus inside of her was starting to break down and decay. But because her fetus still had a heartbeat, they cleared her to leave the hospital and go home. Upon her third visit to a third emergency room, she was finally moved into intensive care. There they confirmed that the heartbeat had stopped. Because doctors and hospitals are so afraid of legal ramifications and terminating a miscarriage too early, she had to wait several hours to be approved, but only after a second ultra scan. But by the time the hospital finally was able to approve her for an abortion, it was too late. Her organs had started to fail. She died in horrible pain, bleeding from her nose and mouth. Abortion is healthcare, whether you like it or not.
She was only 18 years old, died 6 months pregnant, because Texas does not allow abortions when it comes to the safety of the mother. Now her mother is without a daughter. 18 years old. She went to 2 different ERs and they refused to admit her. One of them turned her away saying she had strep throat, even though she told them she had severe abdominal pain and was bleeding. By the time she got to the 3rd ER, she was already experiencing sepsis. Her organs were failing. It would be another 2 hours before they would treat her because they had to make sure that her pregnancy was in fetal demise. By the time they were able to treat her with an abortion, she had died at the age of 18. How is this pro-life?
a pregnant teenager lost her life in Texas. This is hard to talk about. It took 20 hours and 3 visits to an ER before they would admit her for sepsis. Her mother was screaming for someone to help her daughter. Nevaeh Crain was too weak to walk. She was in severe pain. She had blood running down her thighs. All of this on the day of her baby shower. And 2 emergency rooms sent her home, worse than she was before. She was screened for sepsis, but because the fetus had a heartbeat, they wouldn't treat her. She had a heartbeat. On the 3rd visit, the obstetrician insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm the fetal demise. But it was too late. The sepsis had spread. Her lips were blue. Her organs were shutting down, and she lost her life. A teenager, an 18-year-old teenager. Imagining what her mother was going through as she was screaming for someone to help her daughter, I know I would have been doing the same thing. It makes me so crazy angry that the Republicans are doing this. Please make sure that you vote for Harris and every Democrat on your ballot. None of these Republicans should be anywhere near making decisions about us, because we're losing our lives and will continue to do so. So this is for MAGA pro-life mothers. Now that we know that women and teenage girls are losing their lives in emergency rooms because of these healthcare bans that were put into place by Trump and other Republicans, and even if you believe this garbage about it being the doctors and the hospitals who are misinterpreting the law, what do you think is going to happen when your daughter shows up in an emergency room and has sepsis? Because they're not going to ask you who you voted for. They're not going to listen to you while you're screaming for them to help your daughter about how, oh, that's not what we meant. We met some imaginary woman that we don't know, who's irresponsible, who wants to end her pregnancy. That's who we meant. We didn't mean my daughter, whose now organs are shutting down. So why don't you give that a think while you're at church this Sunday, praying for the unborn? So if you can imagine what that mother was going through in Texas when she was begging them to help her daughter, who had blood running down her legs and a fever, think about where you would want to be in that position. Only you can save your daughter right now by voting for Harris and Democrats all the way down the ballot.
A pregnant teenager has died after trying to get care in 3 different visits to Texas emergency rooms. It took 3 ER visits and 20 hours before a hospital admitted Nevaeh Crain, 18, as her condition worsened. Doctors insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise. She's one of at least 2 Texan women who have died under the state's abortion ban. Nevaeh was feverish and vomiting the day of her baby shower, and the 18-year-old had gone to 2 different emergency rooms within 12 hours, returning each time worse than before. The first hospital diagnosed her with strep throat without investigating her sharp abdominal cramps. At the second, she screened positive for sepsis, a life-threatening and fast-moving reaction to an infection, but her doctor said her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat and that Crain was fine to leave. On Crain's 3rd hospital visit, an obstetrician insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise, a nurse wrote, before moving her to intensive care. Then 2 hours after her arrival, Crain's blood pressure had plummeted, and a nurse noted that her lips were blue and dusky, and her organs began to fail. Hours later, she was unalive. Her mother, who would have seen her daughter turn 20 this Friday, can't understand why her daughter's emergency wasn't treated like an emergency. But this is the reality of what many pregnant women are now facing in states with strict abortion bans, like here in Texas. Pregnant women have become essentially untouchables, said Sarah Rosenbaum. And just so you know, Texas's abortion ban threatens prison time for interventions that end a fetal heartbeat, just like Nevaeh had. And then doctors can't do their jobs. This article continues and says, in states with abortion bans, such patients are sometimes bounced around between hospitals like, quote, hot potatoes. And that's because doctors are afraid to intervene and participate in treatment that could attract a prosecutor. And because of that, in some cases, medical teams are wasting precious time debating legalities and creating documentation and preparing for the possibility that they'll need to explain their actions to a jury and a judge rather than doing their job. But I will add that the doctors involved in Crain's care did not respond to several requests for comment. Towards the end of the article, I did catch this, that Nevaeh and her mom believed that abortion was morally wrong. The teen could only support it in the context of grape or life-threatening illness. They didn't care whether the government banned it, just how their Christian faith guided their own actions. But when her daughter got sick, Fales expected that doctors had an obligation to do everything in their power to stave off a potentially deadly emergency, even if that meant losing the baby, and in her view, they were more concerned with checking the fetal heartbeat than attending to Crain. Nevaeh's mother said, "I know it sounds selfish, and God knows I would rather have both of them, but if I had to choose, I would have chosen my daughter."
If it weren't for abortion bans, Nevaeh Crain would still be alive. Nevaeh was a young, pregnant teenager who tragically passed away after 3 ER visits and after being admitted for 20 hours in a hospital with worsening health conditions. Her story isn't isolated, but it's one that needs to be heard. Let's amplify her story to shed light on the harsh realities of abortion bans and their consequences. Access to abortion care should never be determined by your zip code. It's a matter of life, health, and death for so many. On the day of her baby shower, she presented to the first hospital, which diagnosed her with strep throat without investigating what was causing her to have sharp abdominal cramps. At the second hospital, she screened positive for sepsis, which is a life-threatening and fast-moving reaction to an infection. But the doctor said that her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat and that she was fine to leave and she was discharged. On her third hospital visit, an OB/GYN insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise. And then she was finally able to be moved to the intensive care unit. By then, more than 2 hours after her arrival, her organs began failing. She needed access to abortion care. However, she wasn't given the care due to the confusing, restrictive laws in Texas. There are policies in place that are not evidence-based, that are not supported by health organizations, medical organizations, but they have been implemented by politicians. And due to these laws that are not based on science, women are suffering. People will continue to die. Abortion is life-saving, time-sensitive, critical, essential healthcare. These bans and restrictions need to be removed because it is going to harm and continue to harm people.
This is Nevaeh Crain. She was killed by Texas's abortion ban on her 3rd trip to the hospital while doctors did 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise.
What y'all doing? I have something to show you. And I literally showed you this same exact thing yesterday. And here I am again today. Nevaeh Crain was 18. And she will forever be 18 because of the Texas abortion ban that resulted in her death after visiting 3 ERs and waiting 20 hours before being admitted. She screened positive for sepsis, but because she was 6 months along, she had to do 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise. More than 2 hours had passed since her arrival, and now her blood pressure is plummeting and her lips are turning blue and dusky. Her organs began to fail, and then she died. Now, yesterday I told y'all about 28-year-old Miss Barnica, who was a wife and mother who died. And I got 3 different types of comments. Fake news, this isn't true, it's been debunked, which is not true. This actually happened and was very real for her husband and daughter. Contact your governor, it's now a state's issue. And it's not the president's responsibility. And if you have any of those opinions about young women that are dying in order to appease a rich white politician who strongly believes in the freedom of abortion, you can go fuck yourself. Her name is Nevaeh Crain. Her baby was wanted. The day of her baby shower, she began bleeding heavily. She was hemorrhaging. She went into sepsis. She went to 3 different hospitals in Texas, and they all failed her.
because the governor in Texas has told doctors that if they do anything that terminates the life of a baby, even if it is to save the mother's life, that they will be prosecuted and they will be sent to prison. On paperwork, it says that there are things they can do to save her life. It's on paperwork. In reality, he has told them that even though federal law states that they are to save a woman's life and do everything they can to stabilize her, that if they do that and the baby's life ends, they will go to prison. 3 different hospitals, and they were helpless. They could not do anything to save her. Because Roe v. Wade was overturned, and Texas is a pro-life state that does not even allow for the life of the mother as an exception. No matter what it says on paperwork, he has made it clear to the doctors that if they do anything that ends that baby's life, even to save the mother's life, they will be prosecuted and sent to prison. This is happening. It's in the news. It's not misinformation. Say her name, Nevaeh Crain, and she is not the only one this is happening to. It's happening in Texas. It's happening in Georgia. It's happening all over the country now. And I am angry because you know what? I was a pro-life Republican. And my friends, my pro-choice friends told me that this would happen if Roe v. Wade was overturned. And I didn't believe them. And it is happening. There is nothing pro-life about Republicans when they allow women to die, intentionally allow women to die, because they put more value on the life of that fetus than they do on the mother. This is not misinformation. Open up your eyes. Look at what's happening. It's out there. All you have to do is go and look and see.
Like, seriously, lovelies, this is just so heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking for everyone. For young girls, teenage girls, for mothers and her own mother. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the need for this ban. It's not as if the young lady in question, who happens to be an 18-year-old teen, it's not as if she don't want to keep the baby. It's not as if she don't want to keep it. But it's just the fact that she's already 5 months gone. She's already 5 months gone on her baby shower day. And she was all feeling pain, misery, and all of that. She has to go to the hospital where they conducted all of the tests and whatsoever. And she was sent back. She was sent back. The first time that she got herself into the hospital was the time that they were supposed to do the necessary, oh my God, they were supposed to do the necessary things to save her. But all because there is a certain election ban who have restricted, people to live a normal life or to actually save themselves. She was sent back. And when this lady, started telling her mom, "Oh, mom, I can't do this. This is the finish line." This is when she don't really have faith on herself anymore. This is when she needed help. This could have been prevented. This could have been prevented. But no, they decided that the mother should go and the baby should go as well. They should just go, they should turn to one of these stars, It is so wrong that you do not even have a right to your own body as a woman. It's so wrong. It's so disappointing. Seriously. Like, the fact that she actually wanted this. It's not as if she did not want it. She wanted it. She even go as far as having a baby shower. Yeah? To tell you that she wanted it with all of her heart. But complication happens. And it only takes a woman and a mother to understand that complications happen. Being pregnant and getting pregnant and you having this pregnant till full time and giving birth to your healthy baby takes the grace of God. It takes the grace, as in when you are as a mother and you saw yourself like God put you through all of the pregnancy periods and all of that, and you give birth to your healthy baby, you have every reason to thank God, because complications arises in pregnancies. There are some pregnancies that is all about miscarriage. There are some pregnancies that is not healthy, both for the fetus and also for the mom. But because you have a ban that would deprive someone of having or living, this person have to just go. Not only does this person has to go, the fetus has to go with the person. So what happens why just at least save one person that is able to be saved? Why risking the two? Because you think that you have the right to tell someone the way at which they want their body to be treated. Like, seriously, this ban of a thing, oh my God, it has done a lot of wrong compared to that of good. If you're doing something in life, if you're doing something and this thing, keep on having some kind of negative effect, does not have any positivity, even the positivity is less than the negativity, is it not best for you to just quit? Like, it's actually best for you to quit when you know that something that you are doing or you've done something and it keep on giving you a negative vibes. Why did you just want to be so stubborn to keep on doing such a thing? A lot of women are traveling out to other, to get this done because they want to save themselves. That maybe I believe that her case is just, a case of, even if the doctors know, they knew that this is actually not good, but they just don't want to do anything. Because, okay, even if you don't want to do anything as a practitioner, why can't you just refer this person to go to another state? Knowing the health history of this person, why can't you just say, oh, because of what is happening here, I'll advise you to go to another state to get a second opinion, when you know that you can do nothing. It's also the fault of the people that like carried out this oppression. Seriously, lovelies. Seriously, it's so sad. I just feel for the mom. I just feel for the mom because she actually said goodbye to two people, all in the name of a ban, grand, and seriously, it's so wrong that people don't even have the right to decide what they want for themselves and for their own body. You have to impose a law on the way at which someone wants to live. Like, seriously, you have to impose things that will favor you in the detriment of someone else. I cannot even digest this. When I saw this, I was really devastated, because this is something that is preventable. This is something that is wrong. This is something that, assuming the measure was taken, at least one person could be saved. But no, it does not care, because it does not concern me. This world has become so selfish that anything that does not concern anyone is not worth talking about for. Like, anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your girl a huge favor to subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Share, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.